No, ma'am. Second hour we have lab, ma'am, from 9:30. Today is Tuesday, no, ma'am.
ಸುದರ್ಶನ್ ಸರ್, ನನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇದೆ, ನನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಯು ಚೆಕ್ ಯುವರ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಸರ್. ಟುಡೇ ಮೈ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅವರ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. Students, in your unofficial group, you message to your friends to join for .NET class, maybe because they got 2 invitation, no, that's why they got confused. And okay. Students, can you see the screen? Can you see the screen, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in last class, we have begin with the second module. In second module, what we have seen in the last class, we have started with, we learned what is class, what is object, how to create class, and what are the members of the class, and what is the syntax of a class. And when you talk about the syntax of a class, whatever there in the square bracket, those are optional, and whatever there in the angle bracket, those are mandatory or compulsory entry in the when you define a class. And some of the examples also we have seen. And in lab also I have shown the execution of the class and object, and how to create object also we have seen in the last class. How to create object, and the syntax to create object is class name, object name is equal to new sorry so class name, object name is equal to new class name. This is the syntax. This is the syntax. So according to syntax, this program I have written, and I have shown the execution also of this program. And we have also seen the usage of this keyword, in last class. Now we have creating an array object. Yes, students, in the first module we have seen in array there are two types. A static array and a dynamic array. In static array, what we do, in static array, the size of the array will be given. The size of the array will be given during the compile time only. Compile time is nothing but when you write a program, that time only you give a size. But in the case of dynamic array, students, you see this, the size is empty. So the maximum size of this object is ARR is 6. So if you can give as an input, you can give 1, 2, 3, 4. You can give up to 6 values. You can give in lab program also. In yesterday's lab program also, we have seen array index out of bound exception. You have seen, no? If you give the input range, if you give this ARR value more than 6, if you give this ARR value more than 6, what will happen? Students? Am I audible? Students, am I audible? Respond. Tell no, at least my voice you
Yes,
can.
ma'am, you are audible, ma'am.
Okay. So when you execute your program, when you execute your dynamic array program, the if you give the ARR value more than 6, then it is going out of bound. It is crossing the limit. So if you don't use a exception handling concept, then what happens? Abruptly, the execution of the program will be stopped. So the program will be terminated. The program will be terminated. To avoid that termination of the program abruptly, we use exception handling in the programs. Correct? Now we use exception handling in our program. So in last class we have seen exception handling program. So there what we were doing, there we were using a dynamic array. We were using a dynamic array, and there during execution time, if you give the size of this array more than the what we have initialized, then it was giving the exception handling. Whatever the message I have given in the exception handling, that message it was displaying. So here it is a creating an array object. So how to create a object for the array? How to create a, in last class we have seen creation of a object. In last class we have seen creation of object. So here this is a creation of object. This is creation of object. Now this is creation of array object. This is creation of array object. So here for this, the ARR 0 value is, see students, in this ARR, in this object ARR, you can store 6 values. You can store 6 value. That is ARR 0 means ARR array index 0 value is 3.899. ARR 1 value is 3. ARR 2 value is G. ARR 3 value is geeks. So this is how we create object for the array. The execution of the program I'll show. Students understood how to create an object for an array? How to create object for an array? Okay. Next we have nested class. Yes, students, before I begin with my nested class, one thing I want to show you is all are there now? All of you are listening? See students, can you see the screen? Can you see the screen? Can you see this w3school.com?
Yes, ma'am.
See students, you have a W3 school here. Here, can you see the left corner? Classes, members of a class, constructor, access modifier, all the concepts are there. Yes, students, can you see this? When you click on this, that particular program will be, that particular concept will be open. Yes, can you see this? Respond. At least you can say you are able to see or not. That much can't you tell?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See students, when you click here you have a here. See, in last class I have shown you, if anybody are not able to execute your program in Visual Studio, if Visual Studio is not working in your laptop, you can use this Google w3school.com. You can use this w3school.com. See students, here if I click on this run example, then it will execute and it will show the output. Yes, this we have seen in this program we have seen in last class. This is just a creation of a class and assigning the value to this member of a class variable and creation of object, and with the help of object we are accessing the member of a class. So for this program, what will be the output? Yes, students, you can see the output now. The output is red. Yes, students, this facility is there in Google. This facility is there in w3school.com. You please make a use of this. Okay. And similarly, here multiple object. When you create a multiple object, in last class we have seen a creation of only a single object. Now this example demonstrate a multiple objects. When you run this, yes, the creation of a with the see here we are I'm using two object with the two different object also. I'm accessing the same value. You can access different value also. You can access different value also. Hey students, all of you after my class or today after your lab session, after you are free only, no? So you can take a benefit of this w3school.com. So many programs are there. See student, for all the concept they have given the explanation and they have also given the program. When you click on this, you can execute, you can see the output of the program. This is there for this W3 school is for even for HTML programs are also there. HTML5, even for HTML5 also it is there. W3 school. Yes, students, getting, see here the left corner, the left hand side you can see polymorphism, abstraction, interface, enumeration, exception, properties, access modifiers. So many things are there. Whatever the concept we are going to learn in C#, everything along with the programs. And immediately there itself you can run and you can check the output of the program. Hey, students, will you do this? In next class, you have to tell me how many programs you have executed. I'll ask each and every student. And one more thing, yesterday after my lab session, I have sent a lab program in Google Classroom.
Yes, ma'am.
How many of you checked? Is it clear? Because for a few programs I have given the output, for few programs I have not given the output. It was not copying properly. So that's why I have not given for few programs. But anyway, when you execute the program, you will get the output. So yes, students, today you have to use this w3school.com and you have to tell me how many programs you have executed. Please make a use of this. Okay, next we have nested class. What is nested class? What is nested class? Class within the class. If we have nested for, nested if. Yes, students, we have no? Nested for, we have nested if statement we have. So similarly, nested class also we have. What is nested class? Class within another class. Class within another class. So this is a syntax of nested class. This is a syntax of nested class, that is class, outer class. So outer class is nothing but this is a class name. Class, class name, code, and class, inner class name, and the code. So this is the syntax of nested class. Student, this is a syntax of nested class. According to the syntax, here I have written one program. The outer class, the class name is outer class. This is the outer class. And the methods of outer class. Here I have not taken any variable. Just I am displaying a statement. Just I am displaying the statements using inner class and outer class. So in the outer class, the method is method 1. This method 1 is belong to outer class, and the statements what all I have given in method 1, that is outer class method. A simple display statement I am giving here. So my outer class methods and inner class. So within this class only I have one more class. See students, the outer class brace I have not closed. Here I have opened, and here the opening of this method 1, and still I have not closed this outer class method. Then before I close this outer class method, I have declared I have one more class, that is inner class. Students, if you don't specify the access modifier, then the meaning is it is by default it is public. In yesterday's class also I have told. So the method of this inner class is inner class method. Inner class method. And here that line, I think that line is not visible here. After, see students, after this statement, after this console.writeLine statement, you have to close this outer class. First you need to close the inner class. See, this closing is for this method. For this inner class you have to write one more brace, and after closing this inner class you have to close the outer class. Getting? Yes, students, getting?
Yes, ma'am.
So here the end of the outer class. Here after this third flower brace, your end of the inner class. So now I'll show the demonstration of this inner class. So I'll show the demonstration. So all of you understood what nested class, students? Any doubt in the nested class? See, nested class is nothing but class within the class. Nested class is nothing but class within the class. So this is the outer class, and before closing of this outer class, I am declaring one more class, that is a inner class. So in this program also I have demonstrated the same thing, that is, this is a usage of nested class. Next we have defining partial class and partial method. Defining partial class and partial method. So students, wait, I'll show the demonstration of this inner class. Okay, I forgot what file name I have given. In W3 School only I'll show you. Yes, students, can you see the screen? Students, can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can you see the program? See students, in W3 School you have an advantage for whatever the line he has written, for everything he has written the comment line. See here, this is the outer class, this is the outer class. For this outer class, the statements are whatever the example I have taken, the same example is here. These are all the statements of outer class, and see here, still I have, this is the opening of the outer class. Before I close this outer class, I have declared one more class, that is, this becomes a inner class. Yes, students, if I close it here only, if I close this outer class here only before the beginning of the inner class, then you cannot say it is a nested class, because it is not class within the class, it is outside the class. You can say multiple class, but here before I close this outer class, I have taken a one more class. So now this class becomes a inner class. So in this inner class, I have a statement, that is inner class method. See here, students, can you see this triangle symbol? Can you see this where I have pointed my mouse? So when you put your mouse pointer here, then you can observe, you can see the run code and see the output. That text it will display. Correct? Now you are able to see.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. See, when you run this your program, the output of your program is outer class method and inner class method. See, students, in here, see here, this is W3 school, and in you have one more that is Geeks for Geeks. In Geeks for Geeks also you can execute your program. And see, students, if you want to do any changes, if you want to make any changes, then can you see the edit code here? Can you see the pencil symbol, students, where I am pointing, where I kept my mouse pointer? Can you see the edit code option?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When I click here, now I can edit my program. What I do? Outer class statement I want to display, and I'll include one more statement. Yes, students. You are seeing now what I am doing. I am editing the program in geeks.geeks. Here I am not using Visual Studio. I am editing the program in geeks.geeks, and here save option. Yes, here click on this close button. So close editor. So now this is I have edited the program, and you click on close editor. Now you run the program. It should change. Why it has not changed? I have not saved. Once again, students, will check. Close editor. Run. Actually, students, it should display the output of that also, but you understood now how to use geeks.geeks and W3 school. It should display. Copy. See here, you can see the options: copy code, close editor, run and see the output, run code and generate ID URL. And here, if you click here, your screen, the screen will become dark. But students, I'll check once why it is not saving. But if you do any changes in this program, it has to save, and whatever the changes we have done in this code, it should show the whatever the statements I have included in I have included now. These statements also it should display. Yes, students, will you try executing your programs in Geeks for Geeks and W3 school? Yes, students, if anybody is facing any difficulty in Visual Studio, you can use this You can use this Geeks for Geeks and W3 School. Yes, students, here also in Geeks for Geeks also, here also at the left side, you can see inheritance program, encapsulation program, abstraction program, all the programs are available. So here you can run the programs, all the programs you can run. Okay. Next we have partial class and method. So partial class. So in partial class, you can split the implementation of class. In partial class, you can split the implementation of class, structure, methods, or an interface in multiple .cs file using a partial keyword. So in using a partial partial class and methods, you can split the execution, or you can split the usage of class, struct and method in a multiple .cs file. Multiple .cs file means different C hash program. Yes, students, when you create your C hash program, it will store in it will store with a .cs extension. It will store with a .cs extension. If you use a partial class, you can save your program in a different .cs file. That is with the help of this partial keyword. The compiler will combine all the implementation from multiple .cs file when you run a program, when you compile your program. When you compile your program, you can that time it will combine all the programs, and then it will show the output. I'll show the execution of the partial class and partial method, then you will get a clear idea. Just to understand, using this partial class, you can create a multiple interfaces, or you can create a subprogram for classes, structures, and methods which we are using a class with this partial keyword. So this is the example of partial keyword: public int employee ID, get and set. What is get and set? So get and set are the methods. What is get method and what is set method, students? Get method is used to read the value from the user, and set method, correct? Respond. What is the use of get and set method? Why we use get and set method? Yes. Students, please respond. If you don't respond, then how I'll understand whether you are understanding or not. And after 2-3 classes, again you will tell you have not understood this concept. Please, I don't want that. In that class only you tell me whether you understood or not. Yes, students, please tell me now whether you understood or not. Yes, students, please respond. Whether you understood what is partial class? At least tell yes or no. Okay, students, I'll stop here and your answer for the assessment. The students answer. I'll give you 5 minutes time. So within 5 minutes, you have to complete the assessment. The students, is the link is opening? Is the link is opening? At least you can respond for that, no? Is the link?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
The students, all of you answered for the today's assessment.
Yes, ma'am.
Answer attendance: Aditya,
Yes, ma'am.
Ajay,
Yes, ma'am.
Amit,
Yes, ma'am.
Antima,
Present, ma'am.
Apurva,
Present, ma'am.
Ashwini,
Yes, ma'am.
Bindu,
Yes, ma'am.
Divyesh, Why he is not regular to the class, Divyesh? Gaurish,
Yes, ma'am.
Gautami,
Present, ma'am.
Gunashekar,
Present, ma'am.
Harini,
Yes, ma'am.
Surya,
Present, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Nayana,
Present, ma'am.
Nazma,
Present, ma'am.
Nidhi,
Present, ma'am.
Pradeep,
Yes, ma'am.
Preeti,
Present, ma'am.
Rajesh,
Present, ma'am.
Sahadev,
Present, ma'am.
Saket,
Present, ma'am.
Santosh,
Yes, ma'am.
Seema,
Yes, ma'am.
Sinchana,
Present, ma'am.
Spurti,
Present, ma'am.
Suru,
Present, ma'am.
Raksha,
Present, ma'am.
Yashashwini,
Present, ma'am.
Amruta,
Present, ma'am.
Anusha,
Yes, ma'am.
Anusha,
Yes, ma'am.
Apurva,
Present, ma'am.
Siddharth,
Yes, ma'am.
Chetana,
Present, ma'am.
Kavya,
Present, ma'am.
Madhushri,
Present, ma'am.
Manish,
Present, ma'am.
Sarfraz,
Present, ma'am.
Murugesh,
Present, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Mutamis, Mutamis. Why he is very irregular to the classes? Paresh,
Present, ma'am.
Pooja,
Present, ma'am.
Prashant,
Present, ma'am.
Pratibha,
Present, ma'am.
Pratik,
Present, ma'am.
Sadhana, Shashank,
Present, ma'am.
Shraddha, Shraddha,
Present, ma'am.
Sridhar,
Present, ma'am.
Tanuj,
Present, ma'am.
Tejaswini,
Present, ma'am.
Umehani,
Present, ma'am.
Ashish,
Present, ma'am.
Vidya,
Present, ma'am.
Vishal.
Present, ma'am.
The students, in today's class, we have seen the creation of array object and nested class and demonstration of the nested class also we have seen today. And see, this is a usage of partial class. See, in usage of partial class, what happens is you can create 2-3 subprograms using this partial class and partial method. You can create subprogram, and all subprograms you can combine together and you can run in a single program like this. I'll show you. See here. I think I'm not presenting this. Yes, students, you can see the screen now. You can see the screen. See here. This is a partial class. This is a partial class for circle. So here, this is a partial class for circle. Here it is displaying it has some statements. It contains a partial method. This partial class contains a partial method. That is, area is a partial method, and we have one more partial class. We have one more partial class. Here we are calculating the area of circle. What is the formula to find to calculate area of circle? Pi r square, no? So here the formula to calculate the area of circle, and here we are displaying. See, students, here this is one function, this is one subprogram, that is this is another subprogram. So here we have 3 subprograms. This is the main program. And these two are the subprogram. So all these 2 subprograms we can combine and we can execute using a partial class and partial method. So the execution we'll see in the next class. Students. Okay. In the class, creating an object of an array we have seen, and defining partial class and partial class and partial method should have a partial keyword. Without partial keyword, we cannot say those methods or classes are partial. If they have partial class and if they have partial keyword, only then we can say those are all partial classes and partial method. Next, we have using as in a class, that we'll see in the next class. The execution of this program and the as concept we'll see in the next class. Yes, students, I'll stop here. We'll see you in the next class.